This is gonna be me one day. Go vandalize your ideas.
I want to ask you a question. Why do you do the things that you do? Why do you read the things that you read? Why do you say the things that you say? Why do you befriend the people that you befriend? And that's why you come to 5 for 5 to answer those questions. For the microphone. For the past year, I've had the pleasure to witness something special in this city. Montreal is full of brilliant people, scientists, entrepreneurs, artists, people that create, people that change the way we think. It was about a year and a half ago when we started 555. We had an initial hypothesis. The hypothesis was brilliant people in isolation is only leading to wasted potential. Brilliant people in isolation leads to wasted potential. And what I mean by that is we aim to bridge that. The events we host, the people that come to 555, that's what we're here, to bring all these individuals with different backgrounds, products, ideas, ideologies into one place. Now, I used to think that creating has two modalities. I used to think creating things would be software. I used to think creating things could be a physical product. But what I realized entrepreneurship could also be is creating something that's intangible. Creating things like a spark between two people that meet in the room for the first time and end up leaving as co-founders or collaborators. I think the beauty of creation is that creation can also be a community. It can be a feeling between 3 or more people in a group. And that's what we aspire to do at 555. We are obsessed with understanding the intentions behind people. Why do people do things? Why do you dig into rabbit holes of different topics? Why are you working in the career that you're working? And I think that these are the important questions that will help advance not just science, art, entrepreneurship, but the important questions to get the smartest people in the room all together in one place. And that's what 555 is all about. In the last year and a half, we've had more than 10 different events. We've had 80 to 90 people share their personal stories, 700 collaborators that have come as audience members, and amazing partners like Shopify and Planned that have helped support us along the way. But I think the most important thing is not all the numbers you see on the slides, neither the potential collaborators or the collaborators that have helped us, but it's really the people that come to the events. And I'm so excited tonight with my co-hosts Valakshan and Rakib to share with you what 555 is all about. We want to show you the creative design process we've gone through to bring people together, to get ideas flowing, because this is the way we build Montreal and cities in Canada, is getting the important conversations about what people care about. And that's how we build the next generation of scientists, entrepreneurs, artists, and everything in between. I will leave to Valakshan, who will talk about our creative process and tell you more about what we're doing exactly at 555 Studios. Thank you.
How do you explore the creative process? How do you understand why people do what they do? What are people curious about? We wanted to create an environment for exploration, but how do you do that exactly? And it started with first principles. By understanding the intentions behind why people do what they do, you understand their motivations, their values, their identity in their work. So 555, we started with experimentations. We started with our first experiment presentation night. And this was a simple night where people just come together and talk about what they really just care about. I mean, Why do you choose that over anything else? And what are you so curious about? And in these nights, these stories are shared in front of people where the the presenters don't know who they're talking in front of, and the audience don't know what stories are going to be shared. And in that moment, the audience and the storytellers create a relationship. 5 stories, 5 minutes for presentation, and 5 minutes Q&A. I think you guys can tell where we got the name from. 555, we talk about your passion. And then the most important part of the night is a Q&A, where the engagement happens, where the storyteller shares their art and now is being perceived by the audience. The audience sees themselves in your work. And then your work is being perceived in real time. In these presentation nights, we've experimented with a lot of variables. Just like in building product, building services, you do experiments, you do validations. So that's what we did. We tested venues, audience size, how many people come in, 30 people, 50 people, we even went to 100 people, just to understand where the energy is being leaked and where it's being kept sacred. We talked about presentation formats, the topics, our collaborations, our partnerships. We even looked at the lighting in each venue that we were working with, just to understand how we could create a night full of exploration and, most importantly, transformation. Today, we want to share with you how you can build your community. And honestly, it's not even a community. It's bringing together people who care about what you're building on, what your product is, or what you're passionate about. The 555 formula for creating communities. It starts with network effects. Pretty simple. That's how social media is made. But how can you do that in real life? It starts with bringing your internal circle, your friends, your family, people who you think should be in that room, people you've met along the way. Tell them to bring a +1, +2, if they could, if they have those many friends. And that's when you start seeing, from the first event to the second event to the third event, you start seeing an exponential growth. And that's when you can curate your events. You choose who can come in. You think that you ask questions to your audience. Why do they want to be there? So that you can understand that they should be there. Or you can understand how you can cater your events to them. And the most important part of the night, personalization. You make your audience feel special. Each and every single person that comes there, show them that you care about them. Ask them questions what they care about, what are they curious about. That provides an opportunity for you to create connection towards the end of the night. I want to hand it off to Rakib, who's going to talk about what it's actually like to be in a 555 night, the essence of it.
So when 555 first started, it was really about one simple thing: meeting like-minded people. People that were curious, that wanted to build something or express, but they hadn't quite figured out yet how. When I watched the first 555 presentations, there's something big that stuck with me. It was not the presentations themselves. There were conversations after, and people interacted very naturally, but it was mainly the fact that the ideas that were shown on stage didn't just end there. They continued in the room through these conversations. And that is when I realized that 555 is not just any event. What made 555 special early on was how motivating the environment was. You go there, you present something you really care about and something you're really passionate about. And in the end, you're received with so much support. That is what mattered. So being encouraged instead of judged changes how willing you are to take risks. It pushes you to build, to share, and to act on ideas you've been holding on to. As I got more involved, helping the boys and becoming a part of 555, my relationship with 555 shifted. It changed from something I would just attend to something now I helped shape. And helping organize, supporting speakers, and thinking about the whole experience from behind the scenes, that brought a deeper appreciation in my heart for 555. Back in September, I was helping these two with something regarding 555. And they, out of nowhere, asked me to join as co-host. And that was a big moment for me, going from attendee to now co-host. And hosting events ever since then is where I felt a true impact and the real essence of 555. It was not just in an abstract way. It was through these real conversations that continued the ideas in the room and people left with them. And people came up to me after these events and they expressed that a lot of them felt seen, felt heard, and their stories were relayed beautifully, and that kept them going. That is where the what of 555 connects to the now. 555 is not just about ideas. It is about momentum. It is about creating an environment where people feel like anything is possible. That is where community, the 555 community, plays a real role in growth. To me, 555 is a place where people bring their passions. And these passions do not just stay ideas. They turn into movement.